Week
Second
two.
episode. Second episode.
Two. Week 2 Saturday, we back at it again. You know who it is. It's EJ 504 and Everett 504, and we are here on the Baddest Sports Show podcast in the planet.
Yeah, welcome to the second episode of the Baddest podcast in the Deep South. The Baddest Sports Show podcast in the Deep South. And last week we were opening up and we were talking about so many things. We brought up Jameis Winston, and we talked about the Pelicans, but this time we're going to leave a little bit less of the Pelicans because we're now getting into training camp.
It's football season, baby. Football season. We in the fall now. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm excited about them Pels, but it's getting close to that time where it's time to put the pads on. So today, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this first topic of training camp. Training camp is, as you know, we're about to get started with that. So we just heard the first reports from Ian Rappaport talking about before they released the report about Davenport and Thomas. They're going to be on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list. A lot of Saints fans I've seen out there were on Twitter. They were actually scared out there and kind of freaking out, because they're still waiting on Michael Thomas to come back. But I was actually sitting there not surprised, quite honestly, because like I said, Ian Rappaport reported and said that there is optimism that Michael Thomas should be coming back to training camp pretty early. So I really feel like the Saints is just only being precautionary right now. And they're just, they're taking their time with him. They want to make sure Michael Thomas is 100% healthy. We don't want to have no more problems with this ankle. And he can just get in there and go. What you think, Pops?
Yeah, why rush? You know what I'm saying? And that's the point of view. Everybody wants to rush these situations. It's similar to Zion Williamson. When we thought about what the organization did with the Pelicans with Zion Williamson, he had an opportunity to play in the playoffs and help the Pelicans. But what that would have done, for a team that's not really hadn't played with him, and what that would have done if he would have re-injured himself. Okay, so we're looking at the bigger picture, and that's what Saints fans have to understand. Down the line, what do you need from a veteran? Two veterans, they know the system. They know, they don't have to rush and hurt themselves. You know how many veterans that have played in the preseason and torn their ACL or hurt themselves and never got a chance to get to the season because everybody, they was out there playing too hard. I think when you got veterans, Michael Thomas is absolutely a pro. Okay, so he knows what it takes. If you want to convince Saints fans, we seen the tape on Twitter. If you want to actually be, optimistic about Michael Thomas, go look at him run routes.
Yeah, he's been posting it on Instagram. He's been posting it on his Twitter and everything. I think he'll be fine.
He looks great. I mean, he's out there. You can see he was out there. It must have been his backyard because, wow, it was so nice. And he had a big old nice pool in the backyard. He was out there doing some cuts. He was doing a lot of running, and he was moving fast. He looked like a deer. I mean, he looks great. And as far as Davenport, there's concern. I mean, a lot of people talking about his shoulder injury, but they're talking about, his finger was amputated, okay? A lot of people don't know that his pinky finger was amputated. So you have to understand that that's they're being in part, it could be something minor as a finger. Okay, we do know that the brother who used to play for the Giants and he played for the Buccaneers right now. I can't think of his name. Jason Pierre-Paul lost his whole hand for he have a nub like that.
His fingers. Yeah.
So
I really look at it like this. I think like sports fans don't sit there and really take into account that, these guys are human. Like let these guys rush back. Don't rush these players back. Let them sit there and take their time. They're not no robots or no cyborgs out there. We can't sit there and just have them, rushed out there on the field. We got to think about their long-term and future health in the game. And with Davenport. With Davenport, I just feel like, we know, everybody, his injury kind of went under the rug. It wasn't talking about his amputated fingers. So, that's hard to play with. I wouldn't want to sit there and be playing without a finger like that. So that's tough. And then with Michael Thomas, I know a lot with the Saints fans, everybody wants to see Michael Thomas back, of course. Trust me, I'm excited to see him back too, but
we lost you. I'll wait. What's up, 504 Indigenous Warrior? We got Dono in the house. What's going on, brother? We talking some topics. I lost EJ, so I'm pretty much sure EJ will come back. He's out there in Alabama, so I guess he's dealing with some signal issues. But he'll be right back in a couple of seconds. Okay, that's gonna happen. You know how we are on the other channel, so we'll get him back on. I know it's Alabama Wi-Fi. That's that Alabama Wi-Fi.
Oh Lord. But yeah, as I was saying, can't guard Mike. We want can't guard Mike back on the field as much as anybody, but we need him 100% healthy, Saints fans. We can't sit there and rush him back out on that field, and he's not 100% healthy, and we're worried about each week he's on that injury report. If we're going to make it to the playoffs this year, we need big MT number 13 out there with Chris Olave and Jarvis Juice Landry.
Hey, I tell people, just like I said, I would even be careful with Jarvis Juice Landry. I would not even be having him busting his tail. You got during training camp, you have guys who are trying to make the football team, and they are desperate to take a veteran spot. They want to make a headline. So you have to be very careful in these moments, knowing that the fact that some young kid may knock and hurt a veteran. And, unfortunately, that can happen in football. ACL tears, ankles can happen. So we got to be very careful because we got to think of the long term and not not right now. And one of the things I want to talk about of leaning towards another subject is talking about Sean Payton. Now, you did see that Sean Payton did come on, and I'm going to bring up Sean. He did come on and stated already that he wants to get back into coaching football. I have not seen him
shocker to me. That's not a shocker at all.
Yeah, he signed with a television. He hasn't signed with a television deal. It shows me that Sean Payton knew all along that he was trying to make a deal. He thought the deal was done in Miami. I'm telling you, I know y'all love our coach. Y'all love the coach who brought us our first Super Bowl, but he was trying to get Tom Brady to go to Miami. It's not allegedly. This has been, the news have been broken. Okay. You have NBC Sports have broken the news stating that Tom Brady and Sean Payton were trying to link up together and go to South Beach. Okay, so it's these are the three teams, and I want your opinion. But these are my three teams that I believe that Sean Payton, number one, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Number two, the San Diego Chargers. Number three, the Miami Dolphins. And the reason why I put the Miami Dolphins number three is because of quarterbacks. Sean Payton want to be in a situation like he was with Drew Brees. He want to get in a situation where he has an established quarterback, somebody that can help lead. I think he looks highly of Dak Prescott. He see a lot of Dak Prescott, a lot of Drew Brees into Dak Prescott. With Dak Prescott's got athletic ability, he has leg ability that Drew Brees really never had. And when you look at who does not want to coach Justin Herbert, Who would not want to coach Justin Herbert?
Look.
Sean Payton, well, he don't want to start all over. Look at Taysom Hill. Look at the experiments with the quarterbacks that he went through last year before when Jameis got hurt. Sean did not elevate these. We should have made the playoffs. And I just really believe
I think more than anything, just to piggyback off of that, I really think more than anything, he was holding back Jameis Winston. I mean, he wasn't really helping the situation, and helping the cause at all. So I agree with what you say there about, he wants to join that big-time quarterback. Herbert, out of all three of those teams, is, I believe, the best quarterback out of those three. It really comes down to this to me. Sean Payton, if he's going to join a football team, somebody's going to have to fire their head coach, okay? And you just listed the Dallas Cowboys, the doggone Los Angeles Chargers, and the Miami Dolphins. Well, the Miami Dolphins has just hired a coach this year. So I don't see them just straight out just firing their coach after this season. They're going to at least give him 2 seasons. The Los Angeles Chargers.
I don't know. I might have to, once again, I might have to disagree with you. Okay? I might have to disagree with you because the NFL means not for long. Look how many head coaches that have gotten fired at the Arizona Cardinals, how the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals got to them in the first place. Mm-hmm. They fired the black coach I can't think of his name. They fired this guy right when one season. Yeah. And they hired the guy that they got right now. The NFL means not for long. That's just it is what it is. They don't care. They break contracts every time. They don't want the players to break contracts, but they can break contracts.
I agree with that.
Coaching.
I agree with that.
I look at it, yeah. They fired.
I look at it like I said. I just look at it at this standpoint.
To fire Mike McCarthy.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. That's the landing spot to me. I mean, I look at all these other teams in the NFL, and the only spot that makes sense to me is the Dallas Cow Girls.
Cowgirls.
Mike McCarthy. Look, Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat right now. Let's just be honest with it right now. If he don't get at least to the conference championship or the Super Bowl, he will be out the door. So, I mean, if I'm Sean Payton and I'm looking at that situation, that would be the most enticing situation for me to go. The Chargers, I just don't see it. I mean, unless this coach messes it up this year and they don't make the playoffs, he's going to have his job. I really believe he's still going to have his job.
I have to disagree with you again. And one of the reasons, son, the reason why I have to disagree with you is because when you look at the Chargers, that coach is a defensive mind coach. Okay? He's working with a quarterback the caliber of Justin Herbert. And I just believe that the San Diego Chargers, if he fail another year and he does not get the Chargers into the playoffs, you remember this is year 2 now. We didn't say year 1.
Yeah.
And he don't get the Chargers to the playoffs. And the Chargers have went out and got defensive players, went and got out there and they really revamped the defensive side of the ball. They even got the guy from the Chicago Bears. They have so many great players that they just added to this football.
Well, that's why I said the Chargers been working this offseason. There's no way. I don't see them making the playoffs. There's definitely no excuse, but I just don't see them not making the playoffs this year. And that's what I believe. I feel like that's the only way he get fired.
You're not talking about that division. That division has a Russell Wilson. That division has Russell Wilson.
I know that.
The quarterbacks, Derek Carr. And then you got Patrick Mahomes. So you're in a division where you might be still good, but you're in a division where you might just not make the playoffs not because you're not good, because the other team, you might have 10 wins and not make it. You may have 10 wins and not make it. So that's the part that I'm talking about.
I think. Look, I'm confident about them Chargers this year. You know,
if I'm Sean Payton, I wouldn't want to go there. I wouldn't want to go to a division like that.
Look,
I want to go to the Dallas Cowboys.
That's what I'm saying. Like I believe the Chargers are better than the Broncos in that division. I believe, you know, the Chiefs aren't as good as they usually been over the years, just simply over the fact that they lost their man over the top, Tyreek Hill. And like you said, the most enticing spot right now is Dallas. You know, Dallas has the easiest division in the league right now. You know, the Eagles. Who's scared of who's scared of the Commanders? And who's scared of the Rams right now?
We're scared of the Eagles. I don't know what it is about the New Orleans Saints. Even when the Eagles are trash, the Eagles just have our number. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, you know, there's no way in the world we should lose to the Eagles last year. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's no way that we should lose to the Eagles. Mm-hmm. I got to sit here and tell you this. The Eagles quarterback is a question, but he has a capability of being, you know, of leading them. They have so many weapons that the Eagles have just occurred. The Eagles.
Well, the thing is, on that Eagles roster, they definitely made some moves. They were aggressive this offseason.
They traded with Tennessee.
Yes,
with Brown. They got Brown from Tennessee.
Very aggressive. Very aggressive. My thing is they have to have it all come together with their quarterback. The only question they have is their quarterback. If Jalen does not, you know, improve his throwing, he will be gone next year, and they will be looking to draft a number one, you know, a quarterback, you know, and this quarterback class next year and next year's draft is going to be loaded. So it would be easy for them to just let go of Jalen. But that's the only thing I feel like that's holding the Eagles in that division is quarterback trouble. Jalen has a lot of potential. He really does. But he reminds me so much of Cam, where Cam was only, you know, defined by his running game. He was a very good running quarterback, okay? But throwing the ball wasn't his strength. And Jalen has to find – it's a passing league. You know, I don't care what anyone says about the NFL. It's a passing league. You need to throw that football down the field to win you some football games, and Jalen has to do that. He has to prove that this year, or he will not have his job next year. That's just what it is.
That's facts. That's facts. Mm-hmm. And because you know they're already to replace him. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. But to go back to training camp with these New Orleans Saints, I want to ask you, Mr. Everett,
you just not to cut you off, but mm-hmm. Jimmy G may end up in Philadelphia. You just said something that just meant Jimmy G. You brought that up. You just opened up my eyes to make me think about this. Jimmy G has no home.
I don't. The only
Jimmy
place
G has no home.
That's a good point that you brought up. Look, the only place I can see Jimmy Garoppolo going is the Seattle Seahawks right now. And Seattle act like they don't want to get a quarterback right now. I don't know why, because
they like Drew Lock. They like Drew Lock.
Well, look, I feel like with Seattle, they want to lean on their running game. Pete Carroll is a stubborn head coach. He always have been, and that's why Russ left this year. Look, they want to run the football. That's what they want to do in Seattle. And if Jimmy Garoppolo goes over there, he's not going to, he's not going to be throwing the football.
This is where look. The Seattle Seahawks are not trying to win this year. Mm-hmm. They are not playing to win. They are playing. See, this is what people don't understand. Seattle is cap strapped. And mm-hmm. what they're doing is they're playing for the draft. They're going to draft their future quarterback. So mm-hmm. Drew Lock is to hold it down. They want to see what Drew Lock can do. They're gonna see what it's not gonna cost them a lot of money to play Drew Lock. If you trade for Jimmy G right now, mm-hmm. that's gonna be a cap hit.
Right.
So they just got the Russell Wilson. So why would they go take on the contract of Jimmy G? Now it's a possibility Jimmy G can be cut. Then I can see that scenario that you're saying. But you're saying a running team, they can very much run the ball, hand the ball off with Drew Lock. And be the same way.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I feel like with them, they just want they don't want no guy that wants to throw the football. Drew Lock is not in no rush to be throwing the football down the field. He's never had been coming out of college from Missouri. He's never been that deep passer. He's always the intermediate quarterback.
He can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. I just think he has the wrong coaches. Go ahead.
Yeah, he can throw the football. I just feel like this is actually probably going to be the greatest system he ever had in the NFL. Quite honestly, working with Pete Carroll, he's going to take the pressure off of his back instead of having to throw 50 passes a game and have to save teams. He can go ahead and go hand that ball off. They still got Chris Carson in that backfield. So, that's what they're going to rely on. They're going to go ahead and they're going to run the football, and that's what Pete Carroll likes to do anyway. As far as Jimmy Garoppolo, the best case scenario for him is if I'm him, I'm going to sit there and go into that 49ers office, and I'm going to ask, hey, guys, just hold me. There's no team out there that really wants me right now.
But you're saying if you're Jimmy, he just asked for a trade. Jimmy G don't want to play there. He just asked the organization.
I know what he wants, but if I'm him, I'm saying, let me stay on this roster. If I'm him, I'm saying, let me stay on this roster.
They stubborn. Quarterbacks are what you don't understand. Quarterbacks are diva. You know your dad was a diva. I was a quarterback. So quarterbacks. Oh yeah, we get our feelings hurt. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks, when they feel betrayed by an organization, son, when they feel like you got to remember, Jimmy G took this team to a Super Bowl, and for you to go ahead and draft a quarterback to replace me, that's a line of disrespect in Jimmy G's mind. That's the same thing. When you talk about and I've told people this multiple times that these quarterbacks, once they get their their feelings hurt, Baker Mayfield, he could have very much well played this year. Deshaun Watson is not going to play majority of this year. Baker Mayfield could have stayed, built up his stock even more, like similar what Drew Brees did when Phillip Rivers came and replaced Drew Brees.
Cleveland has to be ashamed of themselves. After how everything is playing out with this whole situation, they have to be ashamed how this is played out with their quarterback situation. Like Baker Mayfield is the first quarterback in years to bring the Browns into the playoffs. Why? Come on, guys. And the kid was playing with a torn shoulder, man. Like his labrum was wasn't looking good. So y'all blame him for the debacle last year that y'all didn't make the playoffs and all of this. I don't understand that. And for Baker, I really believe he has a chance to go ahead and do well in Carolina. It scares me, quite honestly, as a Saints fan. I'm like, whoo! Like if Carolina can get their stuff together, they can put together a little roster. Oh, you ain't scared over there, huh? It's the same old Panthers over there, huh?
No. I'm going to speak right after you.
But like I said, like Baker, he can go ahead and make light of this situation. Like there's no guarantee that he stays with the Panthers because remember, he only has 1 year on his contract. So this is a prove it year. This is a year where he can come in there, just win a couple of games with Carolina and just show the other NFL teams, hey, I'm still good. Y'all can still use me. It doesn't have to be, I'm locked up in Carolina and everything, And it was kind of smart. I hate to admit this, but this is smart by Carolina by actually going to trade for him instead of just going into camp and relying on Sam Darnold. Darnold has not proven nothing for them. I'm sorry. Like Darnold has gotten his chances with the Jets, and he had his chance last year with the Panthers. And so to the point where Cam Newton had to come up in there and make Carolina games interesting again, so, and how that turned out. So I really kudos to Carolina for actually smartening up and actually trying to go ahead and put and make it competitive out there and trying to do something this year. They got, your boy Christian McCaffrey who stays injury prone and everything. So They needed some type of quarterback, some type of consistency right now in their roster, and the Browns have to be like really kicking themselves, like to go ahead and put all their keys in. That's why I was so glad the Saints didn't sit there and fall for the Deshaun Watson. You know, it was good. Don't get me wrong, and I was one of those fans that was like enticed. I wanted to get Deshaun. But to see how everything has played out around Deshaun Watson's head and hearing about he might even be gone for the whole season this year, you know, that's a bullet dodge.
I think it's going to be like 8 games. I think it's going to be 8 games.
Well, he better hope.
But as far as I'm concerned, what you're talking about with Baker Mayfield, I don't think Baker Mayfield is as good as everybody think he is. I think Baker Mayfield lacked the arm strength. I think Sam Darnold is actually more talented, but has a better arm. Sam Darnold actually has a better arm than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, look, I watch quarterbacks, and Sam before Sam, do we forget that Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers were 4-0 before he got injured? Are we not going to sit here and act like Sam Darnold was not lighting the league up?
They were.
And don't forget, he beat the Saints the very first time he lit us up. So
I agree.
I could be objective, not knowing that, okay, Sam Darnold with the right situation. I just think that Sam Darnold is not being coached right. I think that this coach last year, okay? I think either of these players, the coach, he wanted so much to be like Sean Payton. This guy is he went and got Brady from LSU, fired the guy. I think that this guy ego is so far up his ass. I really believe that Matt Rule will not be the Panthers coach after this year. You're going to have to deal with two of these quarterbacks. First of all, the Panthers' offensive line is terrible. Okay, so either quarterback will get punished. Either quarterback will get punished. And when you look at Baker Mayfield, when he throws the deep ball, he underthrows the football. I watched him throw into Landry. I watched him. He had talent with Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. And what did he do with that kind of talent? And you're going to tell me Carolina wide receivers is better than them two guys? That Anderson really don't even want him. Anderson, he already got guys in the locker room that are for Sam Darnold that really don't like him. So the offensive line for the Carolina Panthers is one of the worst offensive lines in football. And Cam Newton, when he came back, Cam Newton was getting hit. Sam Darnold was getting hit. It's just the bottom line. I don't care what quarterback you put back there. The Carolina, if they don't address the offensive line, the Carolina Kitty Cats will be drafting number 1 in the draft. Okay, the Carolina Kitty Cats.
They did this draft. They were able to go ahead and get them a tackle.
Good defensive players. They have a lot of good defensive players.
They were able to step in the right direction this offseason to get them finally on O-linemen. It's gonna be interesting. I agree. You know, the Panthers have a lot going on as well. Like the Panthers have to sit there and really think about, you know, how they're going to be able to continue to upgrade that line. And it's going to be interesting to see if the Panthers do decide to just go to Baker, because, you know, the national media is sitting there and saying it's just going to be given to Baker. I don't believe that at all. I do believe Sam will fight in this quarterback competition, this training camp. But I still do believe Baker will edge out. You know, that's just me. I really feel like Baker is the better quarterback out of the two. Sam,
Wait. How? What does Baker have that Sam Darnold have?
Baker has leadership. Baker has leadership.
The only thing Baker has the ability.
Never had that leadership in the locker room. Sam has
the
never
ability to move his legs. He does have a better athletic ability. He has the ability to scramble and move out the pocket. But if you say he has leadership, well, what kind of damn leadership where everybody just give up on you? I don't think his leadership is. I think his leadership is overrated. I really do. I don't think people like him. So if the locker room don't like you, how could he be a better leader? I just don't get that. Now he has a better resume.
It wasn't about the locker room. It wasn't about the locker room not liking Baker Mayfield. Let's not just say that. Come on, let's not paint that narrative. It was
he has a better race. He had a better football team. He had a better football team. He has a better resume. He had a better offensive line. He had a better wide receiving core than Sam Darnold had. Okay, let's just be honest. When anybody, you tell me what quarterback that couldn't have led the Cleveland Browns to their first playoff victory with them studs. Case Keenum had them winning. Case Keenum had them winning.
All right, hang on now. So you gonna compare Case Keenum to Baker Mayfield? You telling me Case Keenum is on the level of Baker Mayfield?
Case Keenum, don't forget Case Keenum with the miracle in Minnesota.
Oh Lord, hang on. We ain't about to go there. We is not about to go there with Case Keenum. Case Keenum had his time. You know, he had his time with the Vikings and everything, but we all know doggone well. If you had to start a team, let me ask you this: if you had to start a team right now with Case Keenum or Baker Mayfield, which one are you taking?
I'm going with Case Keenum because Case Keenum
ain't no way. You know you lying right now, and this doggone lie. You lying right now.
I don't think Baker Mayfield is a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. I don't think Baker Mayfield is a top 20. He may be number 28. He may be number 28, but he's not even top 20. He has not showed the ability with his arm to show me that he can lead a football team to a championship. Look, maybe I'm wrong. We'll come back during the part of the season, and I'll say here on the Baddest podcast, the Baddest Sports Show podcast, I will sit here and say, son, I was wrong. You was right. The Panthers are kicking our ass right now. They beat us. I would sit here and be the first to tell you this. But do you understand that he's coming against the New Orleans Saints defense? With that kind of offensive line, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's not get it twisted now.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Saints defense are going to
twisted now. I did not say Baker Mayfield was going to come in this division and start tearing everybody. Hey, it'll calm down. All right. I said Baker Mayfield could win 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 games with this roster. I believe he could. Okay. Now, Baker Mayfield, I don't believe he's a bottom-tier quarterback. I believe he's a mid-tier quarterback. I believe Baker Mayfield, when given the right tools and when with the right head coach, Baker Mayfield could rise his game to an above-average quarterback in this league. I believe that. But it's training camp.
Who is he over? Who is he better than in the NFL? Name a quarterback, a starting quarterback in the NFL that Baker Mayfield is better than right now.
He's better than Zach Wilson?
Nah.
Come on, man. You telling me Zach Wilson? You telling me Zach Wilson for the New York Jets is better than Baker Mayfield right now?
Yeah, this is where I know. See, you're tripping. Zach Wilson was the number 1 pick of last year?
Number two.
So all of the young quarterbacks, Lawrence, all of the young quarterbacks struggled. Basically, all of the young quarterbacks struggled this year. It's not fair for you to put them.
Well, Mac, let's not say all of them because Mac Jones,
hold up,
be the best out of all of them.
Hold up. What you just said. Okay, that's not saying much because I don't even put that. What is his name again? The young
Mac Jones.
For the Jets? No, for the Jets.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson is number 30 in the NFL right now. So I said Baker Mayfield would be number 28. So who else would Baker Mayfield Mayfield be better than?
I'm gonna say Mac Jones. He's better than Mac Jones right now. Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Mac Jones' numbers don't wow me. Mac Jones' numbers do not wow me. Bill Belichick was able to scheme.
Hold on.
Bill Belichick made that situation for Mac Jones easy for him to operate in that system. Let's just be honest about it. Okay, he had a roster around here where he can go ahead and not have all the full load of throwing all them balls. Let's just come on.
Son, once again, you just made my case. You keep going and get first-year players. That was a first-year player. So I want you to get another quarterback like Jameis Winston. I want you to look at the veteran quarterbacks and the guys who have been. Who is Matt? Who is Baker Mayfield better than?
Let me tell you right now. You about to deny this one.
The first-year quarterback.
You about to deny this one, but I'm about to put it out there. Carson Wentz. He's better than Carson Wentz.
Jalen Hurts.
Huh?
He's better than Jalen Hurts.
What?
Come on now, look at the stats. Look at the stats Baker put up.
He's better than Tua.
Come on now. He's better than Tua Tagovailoa. He's better than Tua Tagovailoa.
First of all, I'm about to
come on now. You can't tell me Baker can't beat those three quarterbacks.
I'm about to destroy you with the Carson Wentz debate. Last year with the Colts, Carson Wentz threw 30 touchdown passes with the Colts. Okay?
Okay.
You're talking about Carson Wentz, who had actually had an outstanding season, but but because of his mistakes down the stretch, we lost connection. He'll be right back on. You know, he got that Alabama connection. He got that Alabama connection. That's all that is. That's that Alabama Wi-Fi. So we're gonna wait on for him to come on back on. Okay. You just compared Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz in his first year as a rookie was almost the second year he was MVP. Carson Wentz was MVP. You cannot talk. Baker Mayfield has not had the career that Carson Wentz has had. So your debate about Carson Wentz is over with.
Let me ask you this: if Carson played for the Cleveland Browns, would he put up those same numbers?
Yes, because he would have a better offensive line. The Philadelphia Eagles had a terrible offensive line. Do you know the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns have one of the best.
The Eagles got one of the top lines in the league. Now, come on now.
No, they don't. Go
Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson.
They don't. Carson Wentz got terrorized in Philadelphia due to multiple. Lane Johnson in them was injured. He got terrorized in Philadelphia. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the other guy that you said. Because you know that debate with Carson Wentz.
Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa.
I destroyed you with the Carson Wentz. Let's go with the other guy.
Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua? That's like another second-year player?
Come on,
okay, I'll give you Tua.
He had 2 seasons under his belt. He had a chance to prove. He had a chance to prove with the Dolphins that he was ready. He hasn't shown nothing yet.
I'll give you Tua. I'll give you Baker's better than Tua.
Like I said, Jalen Hurts. You don't believe Baker has thrown better than Jalen Hurts so far in his career.
What did I just say? Baker is a top 28 quarterback. He's not a top 20. So you only made like a very few guys that you can put amongst that line. You only made a few arguments.
Look, we gonna save this video, and I'm telling you right now, Baker Mayfield has a chance to be an above average quarterback in this league. Right now, he's a mid-tier quarterback in this league, and a lot of people view him as a bottom-tier quarterback. But I believe Baker Mayfield. I believe Baker Mayfield will be an above average quarterback in this league. It might not be with the Carolina Panthers, but with some team in the near future, he will be an above average quarterback. Remember,
Baker has to be in the system like the New Orleans Saints, okay? Which Carolina is the best fit because Carolina run the Saints offense. So that is his best fit. He has to be in that West Coast type of offense to be able to succeed. So his best chance of succeeding is with the Carolina Panthers. Okay? Yeah. So I can agree with you on it. There's no other team that is more similar to the Saints scheme than the Carolina Panthers, because you got to remember, Rule likes to imitate the Saints offense. Okay, that's why he got a lot of the Saints assistants and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very interesting. We'll be seeing what's going on in Carolina because, like I said, you have to keep an eye on your division rival, and you don't want to have to sit there and have them suckers come out of the woodwork and doing something on you. But, it's going to be very interesting. What I want to ask you, and one of these serious questions that I have to ask you, okay, we're going into training camp. Okay, we're going into the Saints fans. We are going into training camp. And one of the things that I would like to ask you guys is who's the guy that can take the Saints to the next level, that guy that nobody's talking about. We know about Juice Landry. We know about Tyrann Matthews. We know about, but who is that diamond in the rut, that guy that we're sleeping on, that is on this football team that we could just say, because I'm going to tell you this, we still have not addressed running back. And I really believe that Abram Smith, undrafted rookie from the University of Baylor, this guy here check all the boxes of a guy that reminds me of a Pierre Thomas, a guy who was undrafted. For those who don't remember when Pierre Thomas came to the Saints out of the University of Illinois, people don't remember that the Saints that year drafted Antonio Pittman from the University of Florida State. So a lot of people don't realize that when the Saints drafted Antonio Pittman, when you drafted in the third round, you normally don't have a undrafted rookie beat out an investment, especially a third or fourth round pick. Okay, so I look at this kid, and this young man, just look at him. He converted from linebacker, and he played linebacker, and he played running back. He's 230 pounds. He's 230 pounds. He's a big guy. He can run between the tackles. 50. He has the speed. The young man is a stud to watch. But I still believe that we still need to bring a veteran in just in case. And Latavius Murray is still available. Do you want Latavius Murray back on this team? And I do want to ask you still the question, who, and those who are in the chat, who is a person that you're looking forward to seeing in training camp that can surprise and make this roster or get the Saints on top this year? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'm going to be honestly, I'm going to be true here honestly. Latavius Murray can stay where he at. I'm good on Latavius. It was a good little trial run. We good on that. Let's not sleep on Mr. Tony Jones Jr. here as well in that backfield. I believe Tony Jones had a little shot, before he got injured. He was doing some stuff now. Come on now, this is his chance in this training camp this year to go show and prove, that he can go ahead and get some running back reps with Mark Ingram. I don't think
we saw Tony Jones, and in preseason he beat out Latavius Murray. But basically in preseason. So a guy can look great in preseason training camp, but is he going to bring that to the regular season? That's what I want to ask you.
Well, we definitely gonna see that this training camp because we need a running back. I mean, like, I don't want to sit there and kind of cause panic to Saints fans out there. You know, we still don't know what's gonna happen yet with Kamara, but at the same time, we can't go out there. We don't have the luxury right now to sit there and say there's a running back out there on that market. There's a running back on the market right now that we have to sit there and grab. There's nobody out there at free agency that we can just grab right now. So the guys that we have on this roster, you know, you just brought out Jonathan Abram. Abram Smith. I just brought up the fact of Tony Jones Jr. These guys are gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to battle in this camp, and they're gonna have to fill in the role for doggone Kamara while Mark Ingram gets most of the load. Now, as far as my player, that's gonna be the most promised, you know, the one that's not being looked at right now, it's not even being talked about right now, which is crazy, is Paulson Adebo. Why is Paulson Adebo not being talked about right now? That man there, like last year, look at the plays he made on the other side of Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, the kid was good, and then he was a rookie. He was a rookie going into his sophomore year. This year, I watch him get even better. Watch him grow. I mean, I know we got all these other DBs out here. We just drafted Alontae Taylor to help out. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Alontae Taylor is not going to sit there. He's going to push that spot. Listen what I'm trying to tell you.
I know.
Alontae Taylor, this is why the Saints are the most deep. This is one of the most deepest defensive back group that we ever seen in the history of New Orleans Saints organization. Mm-hmm. This is the most talented defensive back.
It don't get no better than this as far as DBs right here. It don't.
There's competition everywhere. I don't know if Alontae Taylor is going to see much at corner. We might see him at safety. The dude can play all over. They're going to use him at nickel. They're going to use him when the times that they're not using. Look, this is the best defensive back group, okay, that I have ever seen the New Orleans Saints have ever had.
Trust me,
you can go on. Gardner Johnson. What are we talking about? We got Gardner Johnson. Mm-hmm. And Gardner Johnson feels like he's not being respected. Mm-hmm. Gardner Johnson, he got that chip on his shoulder.
Right.
This kid here is look. You brought up Adebo. I think Gardner Johnson is a kid that just want to prove that he's the best nickel in the NFL. He's a Pro Bowl caliber kid. That just look at the Saints defensive back. What guy? We're gonna have to trade one of these guys. And the guy we picked up the guy from Houston. I don't know. Maybe we can trade and get a running back. Use what is his name? The guy from Houston. We got we picked him up last year. I can't think.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't even think of his name right now. But he might be the one that could go out the door if he doesn't. Tell us about it. If he doesn't sit there and you know and battle this offseason, this training camp.
Roby.
Yeah, Bradley Roby.
That's a Bradley.
I really think if he don't step up, you know, somebody can take his spot this year. So, you know, they got me. Yes, they got me licking my chops over here this season, like because you know I'm a DB at heart. You know that's what I do. And looking at these boys, you know, like I'm excited. You know, you got your leader Tyrann back there. You got Marcus May out there filling the role for Marcus Williams that just left on out.
That's another kid. We talk about Tyrann. We talk about Tyrann Matthews, which we are homers. We're from New Orleans, Louisiana. Being a homer, we're gonna always talk about Tyrann Matthews. We love him. We think the ability. He's a game man. He's a ball hawk. He's the honey badger. But Marcus May, family, Marcus May, man, really?
Hey, I'm excited. If he stays healthy.
Shout out to Michael Nelson. If
he stays healthy,
Michael Nelson.
If Marcus May can be healthy, man, I'm telling you I really believe the Saints have the best secondary in the league. Nobody's talking about that, but they have a chance this year.
Tampa Bay has a great defense, but their defense is not like the Saints.
That's their weakness. That's Tampa Bay's weakness. Tampa Bay's weakness is the secondary. Like they have really great linebackers. They have a great D line. We all know that. It's just their secondary. If you're gonna attack that defense, go after that secondary. I promise you, you're gonna score some points on the Buccaneer defense.
Look, just like the brother Michael Nelson, read that comment by
Michael Nelson says, "Hey, shout out to CD Deuce, but I like to see him focus more on sharpening a few of his skills instead of getting recognition." And I agree with you, Michael Nelson. You know, look, he's got the big mindset, and you love that DB mindset. As a DB, you got to sit there and have that type of confidence. But at the same time, he's got to sit there and he's got to prove it that he's the best nickel out there. He's got to sit there and stop always just trying to get in people's head. That's a great part of his game. That's awesome. But at the same time, too, he has flaws in his game. He has coverage flaws in his game, and he's got to improve on his coverage skills just a little bit more, and he's got to improve on, his tackling a little bit. There's plays out there that I done seen him try to go ahead and tackle people, and he didn't got mauled on. So, I agree with that comment.
Yeah, another thing that we got to talk about is there's another guy that a lot of us Saints fans ain't talking about more. Now that the Saints have upgraded at wide receiver. Not that the Saints are just complete at wide receiver. That's a sleeper, a guy that who's always was able to make big plays for Jameis Winston. And I really believe that because you can't double team Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas, no, Harris.
Oh, you want to go Deontay? You want to go Deontay?
I'm going Harris because there's going to be. Listen. Harris is a young man that I can sit there and see that when they are playing double up on my guy Michael Thomas, on Juice, and you're dealing with these guys. You got Olave. We know Chris Olave is going to open it up, but you're going to have. Imagine the speed of the New Orleans Saints. Imagine the ability, the route running. These are insane route runners. Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas are insane route runners, family. Insane. And then you got speed. Look, I haven't seen a group like this since Robert Meacham, Devery Henderson, or Colston. When you look at the Saints' ability to stretch the field, we got that now. And we got route runners. Jameis Winston may set a record. Jameis Winston may set a record with the New Orleans Saints. He may shatter Drew Brees' record. If he gets his mind right, he used the check downs. He don't be so aggressive. He remember what Sean Payton was teaching him, being able to use that check down rather than trying to be aggressive and being that old Jameis in Tampa Bay. And I think that was the greatest thing of him sitting behind the great Drew Brees. Being able to pick the mind of the great Drew Brees. Drew Brees is underrated when it comes down to being a check down guy, not being so foolish to try to force the pass. And if we can be able to get Jameis to buy in to look, you don't have to go ahead all the time and go out there and get the big yards. You can go ahead, simply throw the ball underneath, rely on your running backs, throw the ball underneath, rely on your tight ends. Do the simple things to get yardage. The big play is going to be wide open. The big play is going to be wide open. Well, for those who are in the chat, welcome to the Baddest Sports Show podcast in the Deep South. If you guys would like to make a comment, please come on and feel free. But go ahead, brother.
Well,
I'm calling you brother.
I do say this. I do say this about Jameis. Like I'm excited. I'm excited about his leadership. Everyone in the locker room loves him. Everybody loves doggone Jameis Winston. Everybody loves to eat the W. Everybody loves.
He's a funny guy. What's not to like about Jameis Winston?
And I'm gonna be honest with you, like the national media don't sit there and look at his leadership and the fact that people like being around him and his energy. Like a lot of people like to make fun of him, and let him keep making fun of him because, quite honestly, when Jameis goes out there and he can be able to sit there and settle down, and I hope he's been able to sit there with Pete Carmichael and really like learn the whole offense, and he's been able to learn everything. Because now he's got the weapons. There's no excuses about the receivers no more, finally. Now you got the weapons to do it. Now you use that leadership that you have and make sure that you know your offense from top to bottom. He should have a really good year this season. And if he can stay healthy, I hate to bring that up on him. And, he had the knee injury, but I need him to stay healthy as well. If he can stay healthy and like I said, sit there with Pete Carmichael and make sure, he's got all those plays right. He knows what he's doing out there. And he's got that receiver room now to rely on with Mike T coming back, with Jarvis Juice, with Callaway, Deontay Harris, doggone Olave. You got your receivers now. He's set up for a really great season. There's a chance for him to go ahead and throw for 5,000 yards like he did that season with the Bucs. And that's no joke. Seriously, he could do that again for real if all things can go well.
Why do we undermine the fact that this man was 5-2 with the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah.
He was 5-2 with the New Orleans Saints.
Look at the rosters. Look at the rosters from last year and this year. And he went 5-2 with that roster last year. That is insane. People don't talk about that enough. They need to see more, and that's fine. But
we saw the drop off with New Orleans Saints. We seen the drop off when Jameis got hurt. We seen the drop off with quarterback play. So the importance of having this guy at quarterback. You have to understand on the collegiate level, people goes by the third. They only go 1 year. This is what I hate with the national media. You have 1 year where the man threw for 30 interceptions, but you're not going to talk about Peyton Manning throwing for 28 interceptions. You're not going to talk about Brett Favre, who threw about 27 or 28 interceptions himself. They are, what I hate about it is the fact that you can't pinpoint any more years other than the one time that the man threw for 30 interceptions. What about the years he threw? What about his other years? The man didn't they act like all of his seasons been like that. When you talk about Bruce Arians, is a no biscuit. He's
look at the Buccaneers now.
He had Tom Brady throwing interceptions.
Right. Look at the Buccaneers now compared to when he had the Buccaneers. That's two totally different teams out there we're talking about. Okay, Tom didn't have to go ahead and deal with the same O-line that Jameis Winston had to go through, Jameis Winston had to go through that bad defense that doggone the Buccaneers had. The Buccaneers actually gave Tom Brady a team, Jameis didn't have a chance, So, people sleep on Jameis, and, this is Jameis's year to shut the world up and to really put him on notice. Whether he makes it to the Super Bowl or not, he gets to the playoffs and he throws doggone. If he gets another 5,000 year again, it's over because nobody can say nothing about him.
I don't know if this is the real Traquan Smith, but shout out to you, Traquan Smith.
Right. Shout out Traquan.
Hopefully it's not a troll page,
but shout out to you.
Look, let me tell you something. I have always been a fan of Traquan Smith, so I never hated on Traquan. I think that Traquan have the ability. My problem with Traquan is just staying healthy. Okay, he could be an addition, maybe the fifth wide receiver on this team, but he has to be able to stay healthy. That's his problem, Traquan, and limit the drops. I think for Traquan,
he has to prove.
Traquan, yes.
Traquan, if it's really you have to prove. You have to prove that you deserve to be on this roster because there's receivers on this roster, man. And this training camp, You can't be playing around because you can be cut. It's just reality. It's a business out there, and we've been waiting on you for a couple of years. But Traquan, we need you to step up. And all going. If you can't do that,
we need to step up.
If you can't do that, it's somebody gonna do it. I'm telling you. It's not like last year.
I'm gonna go back to Michael. I'm gonna go back to Michael's question about Taysom Hill. He said, "Did anybody know what Taysom Hill's time to return? Okay, what is his timeline to return? I haven't heard too much from Taysom, but let me tell you something. Anybody who hates Taysom Hill, you suck. Taysom Hill is an outstanding football player. He may not be a great quarterback, but Taysom Hill means a lot to our organization, our football team. He's an all-around great football player. And I really wish the Saints would still use him on 3rd and 1, use them gimmick plays, because he's so dangerous with his legs. I think he's going to be a great H-back. It is what it is. I'm going to read what Michael said.
To answer his question as well, before you get to the next one, Mike, I've been hearing that he should be able to get ready to go this season, to the start of the season, like at the first game. I'm also hearing that he will be turning towards the end of training camp, so we should be optimistic of that. And Taysom Hill, yeah, we all know who Taysom Hill is. Our gadget boy, our Swiss Army knife, but I'm very excited to see what he can do at that tight end position. If he can go ahead and sit there and catch the ball like he usually do on them gadget plays, hey, watch out, Adam Trotman, watch out. I'm telling you, he can lose his spot to him,
And look, and I'm going to get back to Traquan Smith. I want you to know, Traquan, if this is you, we love you, brother, and we're rooting for you. We love you, man. You a Saint. We want to see you, because you and Winston started to catch at the end of the season. Traquan was starting to catch on.
Yeah,
he was because it's very hard when you get a different quarterback. Okay, I noticed that Winston and Traquan was having a little argument at the time. There was, and they had to get themselves together and really with chemistry. And that's because Traquan him not being able to stay healthy. If Traquan Smith can stay healthy, he has the ability to be a great wide receiver in the NFL. It's all about Traquan Smith staying healthy. We are rooting for you. We love you, Traquan. So the bottom line is, brother, we're not hating on you on the Baddest. We want to see you elevate. We want to see you prove all the doubters wrong. Okay? That's what we want to see. Go ahead, son.
Well, Traquan, look, like we said, if that is you right there, I ain't sugarcoating. I'm not sugarcoating it with you. Like I said, that we have some receivers on this roster that are hungry this year, and doggone, we're just waiting on you, man. We're waiting on you to go ahead and do what you did in that Atlanta Falcons game at the last game of the season when you caught that pass over them. Man, that's the Traquan I wanted to see. I need to see that this season. So if I can see that from him,
it was unbelievable. He has the capabilities. I watched him at I think he played at Central Central Florida or something like that?
Yes, Central Florida, the University of Central Florida.
He had so much. Man, the young kid. I mean, he's big, he's physical, he's everything that we wanted in a wide receiver. He just have to stay healthy, and that's just the part of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Traquan said that he's going to shock the world. He said he's going to shock and we got your back, brother.
That's what we want.
Got your back, and
that's what we want, Traquan. That's what we want.
We are thankful that you came to the Baddest Sports Talk. We're gonna put a star. I want to put a star right here by you. And I want you to remember, we're gonna let you know, brother, that you always welcome. You always welcome here on the Baddest Sports Podcast in the Deep South. You always. We just want to see you succeed.
And if that is you,
we ain't here to take you down. But guess what?
We want to tell you too, dog. Bring the rest of your teammates, man. Bring the rest of the teammates, man. Tell them come tune in, man. Doggone, we here just talking about you guys.
Come tune in. We don't tear down the players here. We're not going to tear you down. We know how hard it is. We are former football players ourselves. We know how hard it is to the pressure of playing football on each level is tough. And fans are going to be fans. They don't realize how hard it is to play, to stay healthy in the NFL. I remember, that's like Andres Pete. We got people who talk about Andres Pete and talking about he's this. Most of the people who never played sports don't understand that how injuries occur, how you can break things. The man is such a massive guy. He's a massive guy. And that's another guy that has the potential to be great if he can stay healthy. And more so Andres Pete, because my Andres Pete, we paid you all that money, dude. We paid you that big contract. If you do not live up to the contract, your ass is grass. You are making too much money, Andres Pete.
Yeah, we've invested way too much. We invested way too much.
We want accountability. We want accountability. It's all about accountability, fellas. Everything is about accountability. We want to, and I can sit here and tell you that the Saints losing. Now, there's one part that one guy on the defense at linebacker I wanted to talk to you about. We're not bringing back. Don't look like we're bringing back. Maybe we're bringing back right before the season, but don't look like we're bringing back our LSU product. The brother that was next to Demario Davis, his counterpart.
Quan Alexander.
Quan Alexander. One of the reasons why Nick said on Twitter, Nick Underhill said on Twitter, one of the reasons is our number one draft pick. I think our second round draft pick that we picked from Ohio State. The fact is that young man has taken over. And that's a good thing because once you
that's what you draft. That's what you draft him for. That's exactly what you draft Pete Werner for.
I hope he live up to Quan. I still think the Saints going to bring Quan back. I don't see there hasn't had anybody sign Quan Alexander right now, and I think Quan Alexander. What you think, Saints fans? Do you really believe that Quan Alexander will be back with his football team? I love his energy. Quan is a homeboy. I would love to see him even more that the LSU Tiger guys are back on this team. Even more that Landry and Tyrann Matthews on his team. We got to get Quan back on his team.
I would love to have him back, but at the same time too, if we don't have him back, Saints fans, we can't panic. We can't panic here, and just because if he doesn't come back, Pete Werner, I believe is going to have a huge year with Demario Davis. He's showing a lot of flashes last year, and I was very excited about what I seen from Pete Werner. That the Ohio State product it looks real good, and if let's just say the Saints do bring back Quan. Then it's just good reps for both of them. You can just split the reps between both of them. But I do believe Pete Werner is ready. If Quan does not come back this year, then Pete Werner is ready to step up.
One more special shout out to Traquan Smith. I want to sit here and tell you this is unbelievable to have a guy from the New Orleans Saints to choose the baddest sports show in the Deep South. And thank you for not being, a little salty because we just being real and just being objective. We want to thank you, brother. We want to thank you. And, please don't be a stranger. We'd like to even have you as a guest. We'd like to have you come on.
Like I said, bring your teammates on, man. Bring your teammates on. We would love to have all you on. Bring your teammates on. We would love to have all you.
Bring your teammates on. If you want to confront some of these guys who think they know the game, or some of these guys who criticize guys like you, we're gonna open up the platform for you to aim back at some of these guys because, like I said, some people don't know the wear and tear on the body and how hard it is to come back from soft tissue injuries. Soft tissue injuries are the worst when you talk about in the National Football League, college sports. It's very hard. That's one of the things that's going on with Anthony Davis with the Lakers. He have a soft tissue problem, and it's very hard to heal when you're dealing with hamstrings. Hamstrings is some of the worst injuries. Yeah, and people take for granted on hamstrings. And I just think that that Traquan is built. He's a massive guy, and he's just having trouble.
Trust me, you ain't got to tell me about a hamstring. You ain't got to tell me about a hamstring.
You had your problem on the track team at Belhaven University. You had the same problems.
I used to battle those all the time, man. So I know exactly how you feeling, Traquan. So, hey, if anyone knows how you feeling, man, I feel you on that. So I understand you, and as fans don't understand how rigorous the game is and how you can go through some stuff. So, Traquan, if that is you, man, appreciate the shout out, man. Appreciate, for coming on, man. And doggone, like I said, bring your teammates on with you, man. Doggone, we here just talking about you guys. You guys make our show run the way it does, man. And doggone, like I said, we just trying to blow it up, man, and just, talk freely and have fun on this show about you guys, man. And doggone, we excited about the season, man, and we can't freaking wait to see what y'all pull this year, man. We hoping, doggone, it's more than just even a playoff. We're looking for Super Bowl, man. We excited.
Son, we for the players.
Yes.
Now, we will criticize the players. We will be hard on you guys, but we will not disrespect you guys.
No,
I
never.
have no place to come on social media and dog professionals. I wish I was at your stage. I never made it to your level.
Right,
you would never see the baddest sit here and talk about guys who made it to that level. I never made it to my son level, who played college sports, or who played college football, who ran track in college. Mm-hmm. So I can't sit here and knowing that I only succeeded in college. I mean, in high school, and sit here and talk bad about brothers who made it to the next level. So I want you guys to understand that we're going to be very, very, objective. We will criticize people.
Very real. We give it to you 100%.
We will not be disrespectful. But I want you guys to understand, and there's another thing that we're going to talk about, New Orleans Saints fans. There's another thing that we have to talk about, and before we close it.
Mm-hmm.
We got special team battles. We have special team battles, and will Dennis Allen live up? Will Dennis Allen? Now, we're going to talk about this right now. DA was his past as a head coach. He was very young when he coached the Oakland Raiders. I think what people don't understand is that DA went to a bad situation. I mean, look who his quarterback was. You got to go look at DA and the team that he had back then. He had a bunch of washed up veterans. DA went to a bad situation. He comes back to a Hall of Fame coach like Sean Payton, and willing to sit under a coach like Sean Payton and learn.
I think Dennis Allen reminds me a lot of Sean Payton when he came in 2006. He was that kind of guy that just brought energy. That you just love to be around. And then
Sean Payton lost that energy.
Yeah, he did. He most definitely did. But
Sean
Dennis
Payton
Allen
lost that energy.
What I like, though, I think like the difference between those two is I like the fact that Dennis Allen is a defensive guy, and the fact that we can build around our defense, and that he's not so much in the offensive mindset. So I love that about him. I like, as far as what you brought up there about Dennis Allen when he first started coaching with the Raiders. I mean, come on, guys, let's really. What the Raiders really going to do anything that year? That's not fair to really sit there and judge a guy off of that, So look at now. I can't defend him if something happened with us.
We got
a strong roster. We got a strong roster, but this is different. You know, Dennis Allen got a chance to really prove to everyone he's more than a defensive coordinator and that he can do this. You know, and I'm excited for him. I really am.
Do we talk about the head coach for Seattle, Pete Carroll? Pete Carroll coached the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He also coached. Pete Carroll also coached the New England Patriots.
Right.
And his beginning of his career was terrible.
Right.
And he goes on because somebody believed in Pete Carroll. He goes on with the Legion of Boom and wins a championship in Seattle.
Right.
And we can talk about Bill Belichick in his days with Cleveland Browns. How did that start off with him? Then he fails with the Cleveland Browns. He gets fired with the Cleveland Browns, and he goes on to win multiple championships.
Right.
We can talk about a situation where Bill Walsh of the San Francisco 49ers, who retired and allowed his defensive coordinator to become head coach. George Seifert wins a Super Bowl, a defensive-minded coach, a defensive coordinator wins a Super Bowl.
Right.
Sometimes these things just set up for the perfect. There was not a better situation than having, why go get an outsider when you got a guy that can step right on in, who knows the defensive players,
right,
and who knows the organization, who knows
he knows the system.
You bring back a Pete Carmichael. And I'm glad we sitting here talking about this because Pete Carmichael is underrated. Pete Carmichael came from San Diego.
Pete Carmichael's name, man. I'm telling y'all right now, for all you people that don't know about the offensive guru, the true offensive guru behind our offenses, Pete Carmichael. Okay, I know y'all love Sean Payton. I know y'all all, sit there and talk about how Sean was the offensive guru, but Sean Payton couldn't do it without Pete Carmichael. Okay, Pete Carmichael had played a huge part on a lot of those offenses.
Because they look at somebody quiet. For one, this is what people. Somebody has to scream. Somebody has to be ordered to be a good coach. People forget that when Bountygate happened, Sean Payton was suspended. And when Sean Payton was suspended, Pete Carmichael took over the team. They didn't miss a beat on offense.
Exactly.
Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards. Pete Carmichael was calling the plays. Many times, Pete Carmichael, Sean Payton will give it to Pete Carmichael and let him call plays, then take it back from him because Sean Payton ego. So to be honest with you, if you look at the statistics, the Saints ran the football better under Pete Carmichael than Sean Payton. Sean Payton was pass happy. We should have 4 Super Bowls under Sean Payton. And I'm going to tell you why. We should have at least 3 to 4 Super Bowls under Sean Payton. But Sean Payton was stubborn. He's refusing to run the ball consistently. He was always relying on Drew Brees' arm. He did not put a great defense around Drew Brees, until Drew Brees start aging.
Yes.
What about them years, all them 7 and 9 years?
Look at
People don't understand that.
Look at 2015.
Gary King. You got Rob Ryan.
Well, when I tell you, Steve Spagnuolo, like these guys, man.
No. I'm not going to sit here and do that. Don't you sit here and knock Steve Spagnuolo. Steve Spagnuolo won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. Was it Steve Spagnuolo or was it Sean Payton? Because you have to put the players. Sean Payton did not aggressively go out and get players to be on defense until Drew Brees start aging. The Saints spend a lot of money on Jarius Byrd and became a bust.
Woo, that was a
he
bust.
paid one of the highest contracts in the NFL. He went out there and got Brandon Browner. He went and got Brandon Browner. See, we want to put a lot on Drew Brees. We want to say Drew Brees and the Saints were top 5 almost every year. The man was the coach. Was the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. You got to look at these things.
Right.
We're afraid to criticize Sean Payton. We look at Sean Payton as being a god. At times, I got tired of we got tired of Sean Payton.
Yes, Michael Nelson, you make a great point with that. Why? Hey, look, that's part of why I'm so excited about it, because we over the years that's all we know. Sean Payton and Drew Brees. It's good to see something new to be excited about and to see for the Saints this year, And all going, trust me, I love me some Sean Payton and Drew Brees. Those are going to be forever legends in the New Orleans Saints, the franchise. But at the same time, too, you got to move on,
You're setting records. Sean Payton, many times, did not give the ball to Latavius Murray, did not give the ball to Mark Ingram, you remember the time when Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara was going back to back to back? They were hitting up them 100 yards. They ran for over 300 certain yards on the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills, they were just running. Sean Payton comes back the next week and throws the ball. And he goes away from the game plan that kept us. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So you get an aging Drew Brees who don't have the arm that he used to have, but you have one of the most, one of the at least top 5 running backs, top 5 running games in the NFL.
Right.
And you do in situations we're not running the football.
Yeah.
In situations, don't you think we should have been example of it? It should have never got to the situation. I'm sorry, son. It should never got to the situation with the Minnesota Vikings. We were beating when we took the lead on the Minnesota Vikings. We scored too quick. Mm-hmm. We should have ran the ball. The miracle with Marcus Williams. The Saints were a balanced football team.
I look at 2018. I look at, the Rams no call. I believe it shouldn't even got to that. I believe you got your running back. That's Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. You got the lead. Doggone, run the ball, man. Sit on it. Stop trying to play tit for tat. Doggone, the Rams got a good offense just as much as yours. Run that ball out, man. But that's Sean Payton. That's what he is.
People refuse to criticize Sean Payton, but we're gonna do it here on the Baddest. If you're gonna criticize players, if you're gonna criticize players, you gotta criticize the coach.
The coaching.
And
yes.
DA, keep in mind, we're gonna criticize your ass.
Yep.
On the Baddest Sports Talk podcast in the Deep South.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to criticize you.
Got to.
And that's what real Saints fans going to do.
Got to.
Sean Payton got burnt out because he ran out of plays. I think he ran out of thinking. I don't know what happened. Sean Payton did not look like Sean Payton the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was not aggressive. He was not the Sean Payton.
He did it to himself.
He put it on the multiple quarterbacks.
He burnt himself out, okay? He put himself in that situation, Doggone, he relied so much on Drew, it was starting to get to the point. It was starting to get to the point where doggone, he didn't want, the media to start getting on him. So having 3 quarterbacks, Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, doggone, Trevor Siemian, that's a lot to deal with in the season. So if I was him, I would have dipped too. So, he just took the executive decision.
You don't dip when you got a 9-8 record. You probably dip when you're 7-9, but you don't dip when you're 9-8. Because I'm gonna tell you something. And we're gonna end this in a few seconds. But I gotta ask you this, son. How come when Sean Payton leaves, the New Orleans Saints get aggressive and go out and get players? They go out and get Jarvis Landry.
That tell me something.
They go out.
That tell me
something.
I
want to ask you. That tells me Sean Payton. When Sean Payton, why did Odell Beckham did not sign with the New Orleans Saints? We think about this?
Yeah.
Sean Payton want to make everybody. He want to prove to the world how great of a coach he is.
Why over the years we only getting Ohio State players? We right next to Baton Rouge.
He'll go get an undrafted. Listen, he'll go get an undrafted rookie just to prove that he can turn this undrafted rookie rather than go get a guy that's on the market. Most of these players want to come home and play with the Saints. Do you remember when Patrick Peterson was playing? You remember when Patrick Peterson wanted to get traded to the Saints? He wanted to come to New Orleans, but Sean Payton refused to pull the trigger. I used to think it was Mickey Loomis. But Mickey is, all of a sudden, Sean is gone, and Mickey is just doing everything.
Right, he's pulling the plug. Yup. It's Sean. It's Sean, man. That's just what it is.
All of a sudden, Sean gone, and Mickey said, hell with that. We ain't trying to lose.
Right.
We trying to win.
Right.
This ain't Dennis Allen. This ain't Dennis Allen. This is Mickey. This is Mickey freaking Loomis.
Yup.
Mickey said, y'all been giving Sean Payton too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna show y'all that I was the man behind all this stuff. See, Mickey is a gangster.
Yes, he is.
And Mickey Loomis.
Little Mickey know what he's doing. I'm telling y'all better stop sleeping on it, boy.
Mickey. Oh, gangster. Mickey is a gangster. And I really believe
Mickey Loomis and Kai Harley, the man behind the numbers.
The man behind the money.
Behind the numbers.
And a lot of us don't talk about Kyle Hardy, how he's fitting these contracts in.
Don't let me get started about Kyle Hardy. You can't ever say the Saints are in cap trouble because you know why? Kyle Hardy.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Oh.
It's amazing. So we constantly not rebuilding. Everybody says that we cap strapped. We don't have the money. We in cap hell. And every time the national media keeps trying to put the Saints out of the equation, and the Saints show you that they're never out the equation.
Right.
So you get the last word, and I'm about to quit this thing.
Well, sports fans, this was episode number 2. I'm so glad that we had so many guys tune in today. Even it looked like we had Mr. Traquan Smith today. So
Traquan Smith.
that was fun. That's great. That just shows, we got a good environment here, and I just can't wait to continue it on.
He's a brave guy.
I can't wait.
And I want to really commend Traquan. He didn't know what he was coming into, and to listen to the public point of view. That's very hard for players, They got to come in and listen to the public and whatever. But I want to thank you, Mr. Traquan. And you go out there and prove the world, you know what I'm saying? Keep your focus with God, and you go out there and you prove all your doubters wrong. You do what you did you went through college. I'm pretty much sure people doubted you in college. You made it to the NFL. People gonna keep doubting you. You go out there and show them people, rather it's here in New Orleans or rather it's anywhere else.
Right.
That they were wrong.
Right.
They were
you
wrong.
Do your thing. Okay? Right, but like I said, sports fans, it's been fun. We enjoyed y'all again. We back at it every doggone Saturday, whether we're late or we're early. We tries to get in here at 12, but if we can't, we'll get it on later on in the day and everything. And also, be on the lookout, guys.
Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Michael Nelson too.
Shout out Michael Nelson.
Shout out to Michael Nelson too.
Who that, baby?
And Nazi. 504 Indigenous Party.
Yes, sir. But I also wanted to say, sports fans on YouTube, also tune in to our little short videos that we have on this page as well. And I also wanted to say on Tuesdays, that on Twitter, we have our Baddest Sports Show podcast Twitter page, and we'll be doing spaces on Tuesdays. So if you guys want to tune into that, Go ahead on and follow the page. Make sure you go ahead and make sure y'all go tune into that. You know, we'll be on there. Y'all can come listen to us on that. I know we talked about Saints training camp all day. All that we are excited here. And doggone, we can't wait for football season to get started. Doggone, it's not just Saints football. We got LSU football in college. We got Tulane football in college, man. It's going to be a great football season, man. And I can't wait. I'm excited. What you got there?
Reporting on high school. We're also going to be talking about high school teams.
Yes.
And listen, remember,
Hancock High School.
Yeah, we're also going to do Friday night football.
Friday night
also going to be doing on Sundays. On Sundays, we're going to do the before and after show. The before and after show. The before and after show. So you guys meet us and y'all subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we will have callers. Everybody will be able to come on. We will allow the panel. We're going to start off with 6 people on the panel, and we're also going to then we also go to 8 people on the panel. So you guys, we're going to ask the fans. We want to hear your point of view, and you guys are going to be able to come on.
We want y'all to come on, man. Have fun with us.
We want to hear the fans.
Bring it on, man. Yes, sir.
As long as you're not cursing, because there's no allowed. We will not allow cursing on this channel. But you will be allowed to express your feelings. You will be allowed to express your feelings. So we're going to close this. And we thank you guys. And the dogs are barking. But anyway, and so you know it's time to go. The dogs are barking. So let me mute my mic. You go ahead and tell everybody why I'm about to get out of here.
All right. All right, sports fans, doggone. We'll catch y'all on the next podcast. Y'all tune in. Like I said, we'll be letting you guys know on Twitter, and we have our Facebook group chat. The Baddest Sports show in the Deep South. So guys, be looking out for that. And every Sundays after football games, we will have a review and recap on everything. Shout out to everybody out there. We love y'all. Wagginej gang, Lord, going Hancock High School. We got Xavier Wagginej and Christoph Wagginej. Y'all tune in for that. All right, and we got this thing rocking, man. We 2 episodes in, man. Y'all, hey, we doing this thing. We starting from the bottom. We going to the top, man. I love it. I love y'all, and y'all have a good Saturday, man. Enjoy y'all weekends, man. We out.